It's funny how something as harmless as a trash can turn into full-blown neighborhood warfare. But that's what happens when you live under a HOA run by a control-obsessed neighbor, the kind of woman everyone calls Karen. When I bought my house in Maplewood Estates, I thought I'd found peace. Nice houses, manicured lawns, quiet nights. Everything looked perfect until I met Karen Whitmore, the self-appointed guardian of neighborhood perfection. She wasn't technically in charge, but in her mind, she was the AAOA. The HOA had a rule that trash bins must be placed no earlier than 6 a.m. on collection day and must be removed by noon. I work early mornings, so I'd roll mine out around 5:30 before heading to work. 30 minutes early seemed harmless, right? Apparently not to Karen. One Thursday, I came home to find my bin tipped over, garbage everywhere, and a bright yellow slip taped to my front door that read, HOA violation. Trash placed too early. Please comply or face fines. At first, I assumed it was the wind or maybe a raccoon. But curiosity got the best of me, so I checked my doorbell camera. There she was, Karen in her pink tracksuit, power walking down the street at dawn, sunglasses perched on her head, marching right up to my bin and shoving it over. Then she strutted away like she'd just saved civilization. I laughed out loud, thinking it was a one-time thing. But next week, it happened again, and again the week after that. By the fourth time, I was done playing nice. I called her that afternoon. Karen, I started calmly. I've got video of you pushing over my trash. Can you stop doing that? She didn't even hesitate. Oh, well, she said sharply, if you'd follow the HOA rules like everyone else, I wouldn't have to. It's my responsibility as an HOA officer to keep this neighborhood in line. Karen, it's 30 minutes early, I replied. That's 30 minutes of rule breaking, she snapped. Oh, the HOA has standards. Some of us care about appearances. And with that, she hung up. That's when I decided fine. She wanted to enforce rules. I'd make her wish she hadn't. Over the weekend, I went full mad scientist. I built a trap. Faux ha. I took an old metal trash can, reinforced it with a steel plate, and wired a motion sensor from my garage alarm under the lid. Connected to it was a compressed air boat horn loud enough to wake the dead. I tested it twice, nearly deafened myself both times, and it worked perfectly. Then, for the finishing touch, I spray painted across the front. A smile. You're on camera. Thursday morning came. At 5:59 a.m., I rolled my masterpiece out to the curb, 2 feet from the edge, exactly within HOA code. Then I went inside, grabbed my coffee, and pulled up my camera feed. At 6:03, she appeared. Karen strutted down the street, sipping coffee from her stainless tumbler, scanning the driveways like a hawk. She spotted my can, paused, glanced around, then reached for the lid. The moment she did, the air horn exploded. She screamed so loud I nearly spit my coffee. She stumbled backward, dropped her drink, and clutched her chest like she'd seen a ghost. I was crying, laughing. The camera caught every second. Her face, her jump, her panic. She looked around in horror, then stormed off, muttering something I couldn't repeat. That morning, I posted the clip anonymously to Reddit under the title, When Chice Meet Trash Tech. Within hours, it went viral. People loved it. By noon, there was a new letter on my door, this time on red paper. It said, Urgent Notice. You are in violation of community noise and safety regulations. Remove or disable your trash receptacle immediately. Of course, it was signed by Karen. So I wrote back, Dear HOA, my trash can only makes noise when tampered with. I have video proof of who did so. Respectfully, Tom. 2 hours later, I got an email. Not from Karen, but from Mark Henderson, the HOA president. Tom, it read, can we talk about this incident? When I met with him, I showed him the footage. Mark laughed so hard he had tears in his eyes. Eyes? Tom, she did this? He said, half chuckling, half in disbelief. We've had multiple complaints about her over enforcing rules. This is gold. The next week, an HOA update went out saying that community enforcement duties would be reassigned pending review. Translation: Karen got fired. The neighborhood practically celebrated. For the next few weeks, life was quiet. I took my trash out when I pleased, and nobody cared. But Karen wasn't done glaring. She'd walk her little poodle past my house every morning, eyes fixed on that trash can like it was her mortal enemy. Sometimes she muttered under her breath. Once she shouted, "Enjoy your 15 minutes of fame?" I grinned back. Still got 14 left, Karen. Ah. She stopped off in silence. Winter came fast that year. Icy roads, frozen driveways, cars slipping everywhere. One morning, I heard tires spinning and someone yelling outside. I looked out to see Karen's car, half buried in snow, at the end of the street. She was out there in slippers, trying to dig herself free with a dustpan. I'll be honest, I thought about ignoring her, but I couldn't. I grabbed a shovel and headed out. She looked up, exhausted, cheeks red from the cold. Tom, she sighed. I could really use some help. A sure thing, I said, smirking, but I charge in coffee, not cash. She actually laughed, a real, genuine laugh. Together, we dug her out, pushed her car back onto the road, and when she was free, she smiled weakly. Thanks, she said. I mean it. No problem, Karen, I replied. You see, we can get along, no trash involved. She laughed again and drove off. After that day, something changed. Karen stopped patrolling the neighborhood. No more notes, no more glares. Sometimes she even waved. A few months later, she left a small basket of cookies on my porch with a card that read, "Sorry for being such a trash can about the trash can. Kay." I laughed so hard, I nearly dropped it. The HOA never mentioned the incident again, though Mark told me privately that the video had become mandatory viewing for new board members. Now, every Thursday morning, I roll that same can out to the curb, no horn this time, and smile. New neighbors always ask, "Hey, what's the deal with that trash can?" I tell them it once scared a Karen straight. Months passed, and the neighborhood settled into a new rhythm. People were friendlier, less tense. Even Karen seemed lighter, like she'd finally realized the HOA didn't have to be a battleground. One spring afternoon, as I was mowing the lawn, she stopped by. Tom, she said, I just wanted to apologize. I took that HOA stuff way too seriously. You think? I teased. She laughed. Well, I deserved that air horn. I smiled. All water under the bridge, or should I say, trash under the truck. She rolled her eyes, but she was smiling when she walked away. Not long after, the HOA president asked if I'd consider joining the board. He said they needed someone with humor and common sense. I politely declined. I'd had enough HOA drama for one lifetime. These days, the trash gets picked up without incident. No notes, no noise, just peace. And every time I see that old trash can, I remember the lesson it taught both of us. Sometimes the loudest way to teach respect isn't shouting, it's letting karma do the talking.